Previamente en Roll No Evil.
This is Pronto. They're nude, boy!
Why would they be naked? It is your bath time.
What'd you see?
I saw me kicking down the door.
That he did. Some people just don't have class out here.
Why don't we start with what happened?
Cyrus, I believe his name is, came to the estate and demanded to speak to Madame Tice.
You know how, like, there's a whole thing between the silver and the gold?
Where did you come from?
Winifred is gonna adjust her silver glasses.
Sheriff, I thought you would keep vetted company.
What's wrong with the East?
Elias stands up.
Wayne, why don't you wait outside? I'll fill you in.
You hear the sound of a whinny from a horse. The man just kind of does the sign of the cross and goes back inside, closing the door fully. Just for our viewers to understand, I dropped a TV on my foot and now I'm on painkillers, so I am just in a tood. Yeah, intentionally, I picked up my TV, threw it up in the air, and just said, "To the big toe you go."
Well, why would you throw it in the air?
You're gonna take some harm.
It's stronger toes.
You can't harm me already more than I am.
So I'm on painkillers, so this is gonna be a fun trip for all of us.
All right, let's kill my character already.
No, you're inside. I think Winifred's the one we got to worry about. She's
in the doorway. She's in the doorway.
I also think I'm outside. I don't know where the fuck I am.
No one knows where you are.
Just went off.
Yeah, sit tight. You're like away.
She
It's
went back to
fine.
Silvertown.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
Don't worry, I got a plan to die. It's fine.
Any questions before we start?
What happened last episode?
Cyrus went to the Tice estate. Madame Tice was not there. A little bit of confrontation. Cyrus and Omi Jenkins are BFFs.
Are we? Are we?
You didn't kill him, which is like a lot for Cyrus.
Yeah, you know what? That's fair.
I made you cry.
Huh?
I'm just saying that. I'm making it true. It's canon now.
Eduardo was propositioned, but at the end, Eduardo just saw the newest innovation called a shower. I was just like pretty interested.
Oh, right. We had a big mommy.
Also knows that the priest might know his parents. Wyatt went to the Tice estate from there and just kind of got more set up to be the sheriff. And we left off with Winifred in the door. The general store, like one of the employees, was also outside in the door.
The grocery boy.
The grocery boy. We ended off there.
With like the horse there, like the bad monster.
Yeah, it was just appearing.
What does it look like? What does
I didn't describe it.
Well, do it now.
You know what? My foot already hurts. Why do my feelings hurt too?
We'll do it live.
Drew just likes to kick me while I'm down, and the pun was intended.
Well, no, there's no kicking.
I got another foot. All right, so we begin.
Yes.
You said we're beginning.
I'm gonna use that as the transition between like scenes.
Good. All right, so going back into the scene, the sun has been setting. There is this orange-red cast over the entire town. It's almost like a ray of sunlight just going down the main street, catching in your eye, Winifred. In the...
It's good goddamn shit. I'm fucking jamming so hard. Oh my god.
Hey, I'm an eagle.
Winifred, in the haze of the light and just the rippling heat coming off of the ground, you can see the vague silhouette of a man on a horse. Between the sunspots and the air, which has gone so stale, you can see just vague shapes of a large Stetson, a billowing duster coat with edges torn, and a horse, but much skinnier than a normal one. You can almost see divots along its side, along the ribs. The hooves, as they step, sound like an avalanche. They're just so deafeningly loud in the quietness of the street. Again, its hooves against that graining of the dirt. The grocery boy across, with each sound as they grow closer, you see him flinch as if he's being hit at. Does Winifred do anything?
Yeah, she shouts at him, come inside. Because you was telling her to go inside. Now she's like, you come inside here. His stupid boss locked him out.
Do you yell it, or do you kind of just like, get inside, get inside?
No, I yell it.
The grocery boy just kind of keeps staring at this figure.
Can I join Winifred at the door frame?
Yes, you can. But as you come there, the grocery boy kind of like looks over at you, Win, from the corner of your eye, and goes, I can't.
She's gonna run up to him and try to pull him inside.
The grocery boy just kind of like, as you draw closer, he like makes a motion with his hand, like stop, stop, stop. And he looks over at you and he goes, he saw me. I'm already dead. And just kind of shoves you back. He's like a twig of a kid and just like pushes you as far back as you can, enough where you're not immediately back over to the sheriff's, but you're close to it. The horse slows. Probably, I would say, about like 10 feet away. It's still on the opposite side of the street, but close enough now that you can get a better idea of the rider. You can't see detail, you can't see anything specific, but you can see the shine of their eyes catching against the light. Shadows engulf them as the sun is behind, but you can still see the bandana that they're wearing is covering from the nose, so half the face is covered. Their eyes are glints beneath the dark Stetson. Their clothes are torn. Not rags, but torn, war-torn. There's bits of the red rock dust from the mesas that are there, and along one of their sides of their chest, as if it's like caught with like embers almost. Just little flickers in the light. Maybe it's just a trick, maybe it's something deeper. But there's something around this area that you can see emitting light. They climb down from the horse. The horse neighs as it does, but it sounds strained. Not like a normal one, almost a last wail as its rider climbs down. The spurs of their boots dig into the ground, just slicing against it. They get off slowly, and they turn to look towards the grocery boy.
Can I do something?
What would you like to do?
Well, I would have seen the grocery boy shove Winifred back, right?
Yep.
Can I run out there and with like a hand grab the grocery boy by the back of his like shirt and just kind of shove him towards Winifred and stand out in the middle of the street?
You have to roll act under pressure with no luck available.
I will roll it.
You guys are outside the sheriff's office?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Because I knew where I was walking to after the Tice estate, and I'm looking at the map and I'm realizing that I might potentially see some of this, so I was just thinking about that. Okay.
Most likely because you wouldn't be on the main street itself. You would see what's going on from a distance. You will know what happens on the street, but you're not going to be active right now.
Okay, cool.
You will see what's going on.
Okay, cool. That makes sense.
Do I get my +1 for acting towards my whatever the fuck it's called?
This is why I told you to take notes. You got to tell me, and I will say yes or no from that.
I'm trying. His word is law.
No.
Like his town.
Not in this scenario.
Acting as the. All right, then it is just a 7.
Could Winifred help out by trying to grab the boy again?
Nope. You already used your opportunity.
Dang nabbit.
Wyatt, you walk out to go towards the grocery boy. The grocery boy still standing there, just sweating, making no move to run, making no try to jumpy moves as if I'm going to get out of the way. He's accepted what's about to happen. But as you walk over, you see that the figure at the other end of the street, with a speed you have never since have ever nor will ever see draws their gun from the side holster and shoots as you take another step towards the boy, exactly where your foot would have been as you went to go take a step, making you pause before you can even make another movement. They keep their gun there. You could see it's catching in the light, the gold of its barrel, as if warning you, saying, you're not going to get another step in.
Ah, fuck, I'm gonna do something dumb.
Do it, do it, do it, do it.
Yeah, that's what I was basically. Is this gonna turn into a duel?
Duel, 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 duel.
Showdown?
Showdown?
All right. Let's get the
Not a
showdown
good Eagle screech.
up.
Drew does it better, but it's fine.
So, for our viewers, campaign was a homebrew mechanic. This homebrew mechanic is called a showdown. A showdown is basically whenever you watch a Western movie when there's two people opposite ends of the street, guns drawn, and, they duel. Essentially that. The way that it works in this case that I designed was basically 3 hidden roles. So each side, so in this case, Wyatt's role, and then me on my end, we are going to roll 3 different scenarios. You're not going to know, you or Drew aren't going to say, all right, I rolled this. He is just going to DM me. And at the end, I then say what the result is. The way it works is as we roll each one, whoever has the highest of the 2 for that specific round, I guess, out of the 3, that is the winner. And based on how many somebody has over the other, that determines the outcome.
Death is a real possibility, listeners, in a showdown.
Oh, yeah.
We didn't get to in Seance, but in the other games that we played, if he dies, I will just make him die. I don't give a shit.
I don't either. That's why I'm doing this.
It's less animating to do in post.
Also, Jen, are we, because I know part of the showdown is we can use 1 luck. Is that off the table with this guy?
You can use 1 luck, but you
Okay.
can only use 1 luck. So just to make it a bit more balanced, you're only able to use 1 luck when it comes to making something go in your favor. So even if I were to get like a natural 12, it doesn't matter because he's able to use it, but you can't use it for all 3. There's also no holds that you can use for this. You can only use 1 luck. That's the only change with it.
I will DM you.
All right.
Oh God.
So describe you squaring up.
A tumbleweed rolls through the center of town. Wyatt will have the gunshot right where he was gonna step, so he won't step towards the kid. He'll instead kind of turn to face the guy and kind of Western style swing his duster to the side to show his gun on his hip.
His what?
You had a duster?
He's gonna pull it out
His what?
and show it to
His
the bad
duster?
guy.
Is that what we're calling it now? Sorry, this is a tense moment. Go on.
So he'll kind of hover his hand over his gun and stare him down as a tumbleweed rolls by.
The figure at the end immediately acknowledges what's going on. He puts the gun back in his own holster, but keeps his hand there, hovering. Makes it an even fight.
Yeah, you respect the rules.
So he is respecting the rules. That's
He is
interesting.
respecting the rules.
It's like in Rocket League when you go head to head, you can't break off.
Now you have to spam the crouch button to show that you're going to do this.
Wyatt just squats.
The rules of the duels.
Wyatt T poses.
Number 1, shake your opponent's hand.
Then kiss him on the lips and tell him he's grand.
Number 2.
So roll number 1 for the people listening is an intimidation roll.
So he T-poses for his intimidation.
Yeah. I have our DMs open, Drew.
Okay, but yours is open as well.
Ready? All right, the first roll. Intimidation.
And it's rolled, it's 2d6, right?
Yes. Both parties seek to frighten each other. You gotta roll plus cool.
How cool are you, Drew?
Where's that Sheriff Riz when you need it?
Sheriff Riz.
For the listeners, they're doing poker faces.
The second roll. Fake out. Both parties attempt to make the others flinch. Roll plus charm.
Oh.
so scared.
The day the sheriff died.
I mean, real possibility. Who knows? We'll see.
And we'll be singing bye, bye, Mr. Cunningham guy.
And now the last of the three. Getting ready. Both parties prepare for the imminent draw. Roll plus sharp.
This is my best roll.
Bye, bye, Mr. Mysterious Guy. Rode his horse into the town, now he's gonna hopefully die.
That grocery boy will never see another day. This will be...
No. The grocery boy's life is on the
This has
line.
all has been Fred a Grocery Boy.
I put the gif in from the I see you shiver with anticipation.
Your hand hovers over your gun. Your fingers twitch. Your palms itch.
Are my knees weak?
I'm sketty.
You think of Mom's spaghetti.
Noivis.
You see a bird flying overhead. The air stills. You can hear Winifred almost shuffle behind you in fear. You reach for the gun. Your fingers just slip against the holster, while the other pulls out their gun and shoots you square on your hand.
Oh, fuck.
You take 3 harm, unstable. Your hand is unusable, a mess of broken bone, exposed in blood, gnarled. The gunpowder sticks to whatever is left there.
Sheriff, no!
Your gun as well, the handle, is completely broken. So you no longer have your gun at the moment.
I do have a thing where I take 1 less harm.
You'll still be labeled as unstable.
Still ain't gonna get your fucking hand back.
So 2 harm, unstable, which means for as long as you keep this injury, you don't get the unstable checked, you're gonna continue to get worse. And if you get to the next session without dealing with it, your hand is gone.
Oh shit!
Had that gangrene.
So here was the breakdown. Drew got a 10. I got an 11.
Damn.
Drew got a 9. I got a nat 12.
Damn.
Drew got a 13. I got a 7. Just to put into perspective, if I had gotten that last one correct,
Drew'd be dead.
he would have been dead.
You'd be
You'd
dead.
be dead as hell.
I was kicking around if I should have done luck on the second one, but I wanted to see what would happen.
And you saw what happened. You don't got a hand.
It's there.
It's there. To put in perspective, it's like if you put a hot dog in a garbage disposal, though.
Reminds me of college.
Just let that sit there. Just let it sit there.
So, is this what happens when you bite the hand that fingers you?
Yep.
By the way, that's the end of the that's the end of the episode, right? That's it.
That's it.
Hey, Stick, just remember, you can't spell advertisement without semen between the tits.
I want this, by the way, in like an intermission. I want the music Trav was playing, and I want them saying this, but like the gentle crackling of like a campfire,
Yeah.
as if it's just them going back and forth. The pain in your hand, White, makes you almost go blind for a moment.
Bitch!
You can hear your gun just shatter and like the pieces flying off to the side. You can hear Winifred screech almost a little bit. But you can't see, you can just feel. You can feel the hot, weltering pain where your fingers are. You can feel the trickling of blood down your arm, and you can feel how your back smashes against the ground. Though you know your hand is bleeding, you can almost taste blood from how much you have been biting down on your tongue, just keeping back screams. The heat is overwhelming, the pain even more so. You can hear just the crunching of boots, those spurs digging into the rock, just slicing it as though it was bread. While you writher in pain, your hand now clutched to your chest, you're able to at least crack open an eye to view as the figure grows close. Stepping closer and closer, just towards you, gun back in their holster, as they just gaze upon you silently.
camera.
I forgot about that.
Terrible last words.
Looking up, hovering above you, the sun almost making them look as though they're on fire and peering down. Yeah, standing above you like John Taffer in Bar Rescue.
Oh God, then I'm definitely fucked.
I don't want to shake your hand.
You can see far more than you can, and it's terrifying. The Stetson shadows you, almost as if the figure is using it to make you see it. Him, you can't tell. From what you can see where the bandana is not covering, just from the upper cheeks to the forehead that is not covered. The skin there is sallow, almost yellowish. It's bits of rot are along where the bandana has sat. Eyes bloodshot with almost amber-like irises. There's no eyelashes on them, no eyebrows. Any hair that's there are just thin, scraggly strands that peek from beneath the black Stetson. A smell of decay wafts over them. A smell like ones that would bring vultures over. Their duster is large, far too large, as their frame is thin. You can see the jetting of their cheekbones, the cartilage of their ear withering away. And that side of the chest that Winifred had seen bits of light come through, you could see it far more. Over their right side, where their heart would be, is concave. The edges burning.
Did you say you're his right side of his chest, or where his heart would be on his left side of the chest?
I'm sorry, I was thinking my right. Where the heart would be.
Like,
okay.
Center-ish, but slightly left.
Where the heart would be.
Okay.
I was thinking like...
Your heart's on the right?
Our right, his left.
Yeah, you're right.
You're so good. I was just trying to write it down, and so my brain was like catching up with my writing, and I was like, okay, sorry, you're good, you're good. You're no worries.
So where the heart is concave, the edge is still smolder and cinder. You know it is in the shape of a bullet wound, but the sides have crackled and moved like obsidian where lava still burns towards it. Where the heart is, there is nothing there. You can see rotting flesh beneath. As well, you are able to see the molten metals of gold around where the wound is. The figure stands above you and just tilts their head, peering down at you. Not moving to strike once more, not anything along those lines, but just staring. From the side, the grocery boy whimpers, can't help themselves as the figure has grown more. The figure looks over at them. At this point, the grocery boy rocks a bit on their feet, maybe thinking about running, but just one look from the figure pauses them. And the grocery boy slowly just does the sign of the cross to himself, just goes, "Please, I'm so young."
Wyatt's also going to kind of, in pain, just be like, leave him.
The figure just kind of doesn't react to the sound of your voice. No, nothing. He goes up to the grocery boy. He raises a hand. The fingers, ungloved. There's a pinky missing. Bone exposed from where it has just gone away. Nails long, broken. And a palm where you can see the tendons moving beneath. Grabs hold of his throat. He lifts the grocery boy up towards this guy.
Winifred's gonna shout. She's just gonna shout, "Wait! Just what do you want?"
You a cryptid?
Are you a cryptid? Yeah, she's gonna shout, "Stop! Like, what do you want? You want money? Like, leave him alone!" Like, she's just shouting just anything to try to get him to let him go. I've got some stuff, and she'll untie her red neckerchief and underneath is a like beautiful, like almost Victorian, like silver choker necklace. And she'll unfasten it and like hold it out, and she'll be like, "You can have this. Just let them go."
The figure looks at the necklace, looks back up at you, and just turns back. You don't want nothing.
Okay, and then she throws it at him.
Okay. It just bounces off. It don't do nothing.
I want to try and stand up.
No, you're down. You're unstable, dude.
I said try.
Okay. You know what? Act under pressure. I'll give you that. Because your hand is spaghetti.
I got another. Joke's on you. Why? It's ambidextrous. That's only a 7.
Yeah. You get up a little steadily. Winifred would have to help you up if she chooses to.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah, but you can't be steady on your feet. You can't do another action from that. You're like, ugh. The figure drops the boy to the side and brings his gun out, pointing straight at his back. He makes a little motion with his hand like, move. The grocery boy, looking back over to the figure, and just goes, all right. I'll see the others though, right? To which the figure nods. And the grocery boy looks and goes, Tell my mother when she gets back into town. And he walks towards the horse. As he steps more and more, there's never a shot fired, but you see him wince in pain with each step, his body racking with each side as though he's being shot before he steps once more and falls dead to the ground. His blood falls, staining the red rock ground. There's no wind. There's not a sound in the sky. The figure puts his gun back in the holster. The horse neighs. It draws closer. Its hooves like lead against there. As it draws close, you could see its skeletal, the horse. Its fur sun-bleached white. Its muzzle just half rotted away. You can see the inner workings, all the teeth, all the muscle. The figure looks back over its shoulder towards you, Wyatt, you, Winifred, and almost like a gentleman tips his hat before he walks towards where the grocery boy once was, grabs his wrist and drags him over to the horse. He tosses him over and climbs on.
As he's walking away, Wyatt, like, holding his hand, hasn't, like, stopped staring at him. He's just gonna ask, hi, Gigi.
Yeah, give me a second while I move her real quick.
Canonical character, Gigi, bringer of death.
Yeah, his name's Gigi.
God, no!
All over
Season 1,
again.
it was Kevin. This time it's Gigi.
Right. A black cat just like, crosses over the scene.
So as he's walking away, but still, like, earshot to a silent, not loud question, Wyatt's going to ask, did you kill my dad?
The figure pauses as he climbs, his foot stilling in the stirrup. He just looks over once more and just tips his hat, to which silently he climbs on, while grabbing the reins, just turns the horse and goes right back outside of town. In the haze of the heat, the sun has almost set with each step it takes moving out from Bittermesa. While night creeps in, you see them almost fade from view like a mirage, blending in with the heat and death and decay of the valley until they're no more.
Fuck.
Would it be read a bad situation to say what the hat tip meant? Was it a yes or a no?
You're not gonna know.
All right, then Wyatt's just going to pass out.
Okay.
Winifred's gonna try to hold him up, I guess, because she's helping him up, right?
Yeah, he's just going to collapse on top.
You know what? I want you to roll act under pressure. There's a lot of pressure, but I want that, Winifred.
This is like a constitution check.
Oh, yeah.
What? Okay, act under pressure. That's a cool. Oh no, I have a -1 to cool, so that's a 4. I'm gonna mark experience.
He's going down, you're going down with him. You're falling. You're gonna take a point of damage.
Great.
Question: how old is Wyatt?
My age, 32, 33.
How old was Butch?
Older.
That's a DM question. Actually, Cyrus would have no reason to know or see any photo of it. Never mind.
Winifred's also the only person who heard that question.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was a me Emily question, but I'm gonna just hold off on that. I'm just gonna keep it in my notes. It's fine. Cyrus doesn't give a fuck. I care, but Cyrus doesn't care. I want to know for me. Cyrus doesn't give a fuck.
So just to remind you, Drew, again, you are unstable. As per the manual, you need to go to a designated infirmary.
I'm unconscious.
Okay.
Winifred's gotta drag me.
Does Jenkins' homestead count as an infirmary?
No, that's a hazard.
I'm outside game. I am gonna say that my move also, if I get healed, I healed for 1 extra on top.
Are you just making up moves at this point?
No, it's called Asphalt Jungle. You heal faster than normal people. Anytime your harm gets healed, heal an extra point. You are immune to all harm moves, effects under 0 or 1 harm.
All right, Winifred's gonna try to scoot out from under Wyatt. This is just like normal all over again, and she's gonna take her scarf, and she's gonna like tie up his really mangled hand to try to like stabilize it as best as she can, and she's also gonna scream for help.
Probably the close in vicinity would be, in terms of players, would be Jenkins and Eduardo, because you're in the brothel.
What about my homie Dusty?
I'm just talking players right now, because everybody else is firmly locked up. But in terms of players, it would be Eduardo and Jenkins. So,
Am I in the middle of a shower?
do you want to be?
Yes.
Yes.
Oh God. Just super scarring Winifred today.
Go for it.
Okay, never mind. Maybe I don't. I take that back. Jenkins is at the tail end of all this.
Wait, so are you coming to help, or you're scrubbing
No,
up?
he'll come out to help. I'm saying he's not going to be naked.
Okay.
He's got a towel on.
She's gonna be shouting like, "Help! It's the sheriff. He's hurt."
All right. So do you two do anything?
Yeah, I'll run out. What happened here? And he reaches into his towel and pulls out a
Oh God.
Awful.
Where was he storing what he's pulling out, first
That
off?
was my thought.
But it's clean now.
Depends on where it came from.
What do you pull out?
he pulls out a bottle.
Where was the bottle?
But it's clean now.
No. There's no time. Just drink this. And he'll open the bottle and shove the bottle in your mouth.
I'm unconscious.
He's
so you can.
unconscious.
It is all right. So you have a bottle of unknown origin.
I have an ass bottle.
Probably. It's lukewarm. So what was the effect of the...
This is my Lookum Pale Ale. It heals 2 harm.
That does not count because it doesn't heal unstable.
Jenkins doesn't know that. He just sees a man lying on the
So
ground.
you're just waterboarding me.
So there's no effect.
Amazing.
Because remember, as per the manual, if you have unstable, it takes infirmary level regardless of the amount.
Jenkins doesn't know anything that happened. He's just doing whatever he can.
All right.
Yeah,
He's
Winifred's
just
gonna shout,
drowning
"That's not gonna
Wyatt.
help. We need to get him to a doctor."
And then so he'll take it out and he'll start drinking the rest of it.
Wyatt, just keep in mind when you wake up, you're gonna have an awful aftertaste in your mouth. It's gonna taste like
It's gonna taste like ass.
it's gonna taste like gas.
Clean ass.
Eduardo, have you also ran out or no?
Eduardo has also ran out, and as he's like panicking, trying to figure out what to do, as Jenkins is actively waterboarding the only guy who gave him a nickname, he comes to his senses and pulls out his giant serving board and like places it just kind of at an angle and like motions to Jenkins and Winifred to just like get him on here.
We're gonna scoot him onto the board.
Oh, like a gurney.
Yeah.
Take me to the barber shop.
All right. You got his feet. I got his head.
Grabs him by the neck.
I pictured that he's not even like holding it like underneath. It's like a bowling ball. Like he's just holding it in the neck.
He just grabs my hair.
It's got a scruff, right? Like a cat.
Jenkins isn't that stupid.
Well, it's not like I can grab both his arms.
Jenkins is a very practical person. With his line of work, he has to know how to like properly lift things. So like it's just orientation.
I also want to ask again, how tall is Jenkins as well?
Short.
Yeah, so you're gonna be lifting him up.
I hold the board pretty low. It's not like we're putting him into like a Hannibal Lecter 45.
Yeah.
Also, you could just put the board on the ground.
Put the board on the
Yeah,
ground and just
just
roll
roll
me on
onto
top
it.
of it.
Roll no evil.
Roll.
No.
Roll no board.
Roll no sheriff.
because he's gonna die if we don't get him to the barbershop.
Yep. So I guess next case of action going to be the barbershop. So the streets are still empty, so you're able to roll them on real quick and run on over.
Wardo just carrying him like a sacrificial lamb.
Like a pizza.
Like a snack that he is.
In nomine Patre Spiritus Sancti.
Wait, so when you're carrying him, is it just you? Do you need help carrying the board, or?
I like to think it's funnier if it's just,
Just like a waiter.
Yeah, like I'm at fucking Olive Garden, just
Jenkins is the little kid helping his dad move something where he's just like this, but
Yeah.
not touching it.
If you can do it by yourself, Jenkins, I'll go on ahead. I'll warn the barber that we're coming.
Okay. So while this is going on, Cyrus, you were away. You were on the outskirts of town, obviously, since things were happening. You saw all of this happen.
because you shot him.
Great. So I have a question. Okay, so I'm looking at Dute's drawing, or map of Bittermesa.
Yes.
I was going from the Tice Estate 22 over to, I was going sort of like to the east side of town is where I was going, so sort of doing that diagonal. My question is, did the rider go west or go east?
He would have left town, so you would have gone west towards like the railroad.
Okay.
You would have seen it, but you wouldn't be anywhere in the vicinity itself. He disappeared. Like, he didn't like go away. He just disappeared.
No, I know, but a part of me wants to go and like investigate like where he did, like see if it's like what did the tracks look like, you know, like that's kind of the. But if you're telling me like that's not even a.
I encourage you to make the move, investigate a mystery just outside of the character itself, so then I can guide you with that.
Yeah, I think so I think he wants to investigate because it's like I think that he sees all of the stuff that happens with the shot, and he doesn't really care about the sheriff, but he cares about but the writer is interesting, and so I think that Cyrus is going to want to investigate that. So I will roll for that. It's sharp.
Yeah.
Let me rolling some dice. Oh shit! That was a fucking nat 12.
Nat 12.
13. That was really exciting.
Hell yeah! Our first
yeah.
Nat 12, folks. It is the first one. I won fanfare. I won trumpets. It is the first natural 12 of the entire campaign.
It was really exciting for me. I had to I because again, because of my dice, I had to I kind of have to count them, and so at first I was like, oh, that's a 6. Oh, that's another 6.
4 more nat 12s and the game's over. We win.
I remember that rule.
Yeah.
I
So-
remember
That was
that.
session 0.
So
Yeah,
given
clearly.
that it's a Nat 12, which means not only is it a perfect roll, but I give you additional information,
Fuck yeah.
I'm going to just tell you directly what you should do because you want to know more about them.
Do it.
You don't have to do this as a player. We could say later on, like, this is a step 1 that you don't have to do right now, and then a step 2 to do.
Mhm.
You can investigate the ground where, like, the main street where the grocery boy fell. But then you're going to want to go back to where, like, Wyatt and the others are. Because then you'll get, like, a step 2 from there. Based on, again, you don't have to physically
The
go.
barbershop?
Yeah, like, wherever they are. Just them.
Yeah. Go to
You-
the group. Okay.
Yeah, you don't
I thought it
have
was gonna be
Barbers.
yeah, you don't have to role play actually going to the ground. You can just meet them later on just to make it a bit easier. And then I will say, like, this is what you found.
Yeah. Okay, cool. Because I was gonna, so I was definitely gonna go to the group at any point, but I think Cyrus's idea was probably wait until Wyatt can speak.
Yep. And you're going to get a revelation from there. And I'm going to message you it so that way you can say it.
Obsessed with that. Okay, great. I do want to go and investigate the ground. I think that, because I think it was that fits with my inclination anyways, was to like either follow or go see like sort of what was up. So yeah, I think I do want to go walk over, because I figure I'm looking at the map and I figure like if I was again like walking between the Tice estate and over towards that, like I was going to I was going over to the undertaker, the Undertaker house, but like I was if I was gonna go that way, then like it makes sense that I would have seen that, and that I would like be able to go and walk in front of the sheriff's office to go check out the ground.
Like I said, we don't have to roleplay that, but you will get information from there to meet up at a later point. I'm going to tell you what you found there because you're not going to roll anything.
If you pass Wyatt's spot, you'll find Winifred's necklace still on the ground because
Yes,
in the panic she left it.
Maybe a little bit of pee.
So add that to your inventory.
Okay, so the
silver necklace.
Winifred's necklace. Okay,
keep in mind it's silver.
I know.
2 out of 2, dude. You have characters that have silver necklaces.
I didn't even think about that.
For those listening in an audio format, I made the meme that's the like Doofenshmirtz meme. That's the if I had a nickel every time Doot played a character that had a plot relevant necklace, I'd have 2 nickels.
Specifically
which is a lot,
silver.
But it's happened twice. It's fucking silver necklaces. You're right. God, that would have been a funnier. Fuck, I'm gonna update the meme so it'll say silver necklace.
Get Dan on the phone right now. I need this recorded. Get known listener Dan Povenmire.
Is that a listener?
Confirmed
Probably.
first subscriber, Dan Povenmire.
Did we talk about the fact that Cyrus has no silver or gold on him? Did we talk about this? I think so.
Yeah.
I think that was noticed by somebody. Okay, great. I just wanted to say that out loud.
All right. So going back to the others, Jenkins, you're gonna go over to the infirmary. The infirmary is it is also a barber shop, as was the time. It is not a huge building. It's like everything else. It's just made out of like sun-stained wood, things like that. There's a large sign that says Dr. Barber at the top, written in pretty shaky paint. There's one little window on the side with curtains drawn and like a big like door also like held shut. So you're gonna have to like, knock on it.
You said there's just one door, right?
Yeah, it's like a big door.
I'm gonna just like push my way through the door.
It is locked.
And I'll roll up my sleeves and time for a second chance. And I'm gonna try and bust my way through it.
As you go to bust through it, right as like your leg lifts to go there, the doors swing open. So you just kind of fall inside. Towel dangerously close to falling off with just your ass to the air.
It's another push, not pull.
Standing there, like holding the handles of the door that just brought it open, is a tail end of like a young adult to like late 20s. Man, dark skin, I will say like Southern Asian descent looking, cropped short black hair, dressed in a crisp white shirt with like the collar down, a big apron. The man opens the door and he's like trembling a little bit, but seeing you, Jenkins, fall to the floor, he just kind of like shakily breathes in relief. He goes, I have never been more happy to see you, Jenkins.
No, there's no time for it. Get out of my way, Harold. Clear off the table. We got a man coming in. And he'll push right past him.
I have a question. Did I tell you that his name was Harold?
No, you didn't.
Okay, because it is, and that's a little weird. I don't actually like that.
I mean, it also makes sense that would be the one name Jenkins remembers.
Is the doctor. How many times has he woken up, right, like drunk or from fucking alcohol?
You don't give him your booze to study his shakes?
All right, I guess his name really is Harold.
His name is Harold. Holy fucking Jenkins seeing the shrimp colors over here.
He sees the Matrix.
But yeah, Jenkins just waddles past him, little Wario style, and just like he goes straight to whatever table he sees and pushes everything off the table.
That was really weird that you guessed that his name is Harold. That's actually really weird.
That's fucking funny.
I swear to God, I will show you my notes after.
Well, you don't need to because I'm in your house right now looking over your shoulder reading your notes.
I see him. It's true.
Yeah, just look behind you. Oh, made you look.
I thought I felt a chill in the air. So inside it's a there's like one main area. There's a little like waiting area, so like a few just generic seats pushed against the wall, and then on the other side there's just one barber's chair filled out with like all the little things around it, like a straight razor, clippers, stuff like that. When I say clippers, I mean like hair trimming scissors, and a mirror, like all things there for barber, while the other side of the room, like quite literally like straight down the center, left is all the barber stuff. On the right is that table that Jenkins made up and now I adapt to. There is a big table. It looks almost as though it's made out of like, it's more polished of it, like a polished wood, maybe like trying to make sure to keep it smooth. Same wood as like the walls, as well as like one of those like open cabinets that you could see like everything in like little cubbies, and in there are various different like medical tools, bandages, things like that. The table had important medical stuff on it, so you just swipe it, it's like broken glass on the floor. There's bandages now like on the floor getting mixed up with the hair on the ground.
We gotta keep a clean operating surface.
Harold just kind of like stares, but he is a tall man, like kind of lanky, just kind of like wriggles his hands there, and he just goes, "How long did it go? The thing left."
Didn't you hear the gunshot, Scott? Just look right there. You see how fresh it is. Can we see the people coming up?
Yeah, I was just about to say, as you point, the others, Eduardo with his pizza platter of Wyatt, and Norma just trying not to, just following behind. You roll up in. It's not delivery.
It's not delivery. It's Eduardo.
Not delivery, it's big guy.
It's not delivery. It's a
It's
dead
DiGiorno.
corpse.
What? Oh, shit.
Can I offer Harold some non-special booze?
You could offer.
Harold, you look a little shaky. You need some of this stuff?
Harold like kind of flinches as you bring it out, and he just like looks at it and he goes, I don't think that's safe.
I think you need it.
He just kind of like stares at it and like tries to smile apologetically, like, I'm good.
This man is gonna bleed out if you can't do it right. Just drink and operate. That's what all the doctors in the East Side do.
I'll go operate. And he just like goes over. He gestures to you, Eduardo, to the table to where you could just kind of lay Wyatt down.
Like just straight onto the table. It's a very heavy board.
Concussion.
Do you try to like slide the board underneath, or are you just leaving it there?
I'm just leaving it there.
Okay. Harold goes to like the cabinet and he pulls out like a pair of glasses, like little half circle ones where he's able to like take a better look. He lifts up Wyatt's wrist to the injured hand and removes where you had like wrapped stuff around Winifred. It is bad, the damage. I mean, you're able to see that bone white is very white. You could see it from his middle and his ring finger. There's just barely any skin on those two. Your thumb is intact, but your pinky is nearly all gone. Maybe like the remnants of your knuckle, but even then, like shattered. There's blood everywhere. It's just a mess of tissue and bone. Harold, for as skittish as he was before, is now like very calm as he takes in just the mess. Like, he brings it like close to his face so he's able to see, and he goes, all right, I can't save the pinky, but I can get the others working. He can still shoot. He goes over back to the cabinet and he pulls out various different supplies, and he goes, why don't you all go wait over there while I get this done? It's going to just take me a bit. And he gestures to where that like quote unquote waiting room is. It's just really like 3 chairs by the door. And Wyatt, he's going to be tending to you in the meantime, while the others, you're all going to congregate around there.
When she'll very shaken up, obviously, because of all this happening. She's gonna go, I dropped something. I'm gonna go get that and be right back. And then she's gonna like quickly exit and then go look for her necklace.
Well, as Winifred goes, are you going to come to the infirmary?
Yeah, so I think that as Winifred is like leaving, I'm in the door. So it's like, you know, you open the door to try to leave and it's like I'm standing there, like holding the necklace. I think is the image that I want there.
It's almost as if maybe the setting sun, maybe it's just the West itself, where everything feels like yellow tinged. The silver stands out. It's almost glowing like a white blue. Just so odd, out of place.
Oh. That's just all that Wynn gets out. She's like, oh.
I think we have a few things to talk about.
Yeah, the sheriff got shot by some weird thing. Still don't know what that is. Yeah. Can I have that back?
Question. Is there anything about this necklace that I either recognize or seems somewhat from anything from my various travels and experiences? And
Give me 1 second. This is a biggie I'm gonna send you.
I'm fucking thrilled. We're having a moment all together collectively. I wanted to make that. Sorry, I accidentally hit my mic.
It took us 4 sessions.
It took us how many sessions?
Took me almost dying.
It happens a lot in games with you. You need to stop doing that.
You're welcome.
I don't know. To be fair, Norma was the one who almost died in the last campaign. So
I was 1 away from dying last campaign.
I actually died. Wait a second. I actually died. Forgot about that.
I got fucked by that rabbit to 1 health.
Come again?
You did get fucked by that rabbit. Not as much as Eddie got fucked by the rabbit, but
I took that fucking for Eddie.
Yo, that rabbit fucking ate, though.
Eddie would know.
It ate Eddie's ass.
I realized I was not looking at chat for a hot minute, and I just see this guy's gonna kill me, Mexico, but he did not shoot
I
blood.
think
Because she said the yellowish tint, so like Hollywood, Mexico.
Ah, okay.
Yeah.
This is all
And
coming
then
together.
and Wynn said that he shot the sheriff.
I feel like
But
I
he
need
didn't
a
shoot the
Norma
deputy.
count.
We're all the same character.
We are our characters.
Are we?
I'm secretly a werewolf.
I honestly and truly think that Felicity and Cyrus could not be any more different.
Yeah, both brooding from California, and
Is Cyrus from California?
it's canon now.
This is
Headcanon.
America. It is the Golden Ghost, not California.
Wyatt also fucks 100% less than Alexander.
You're gonna get a lot of revelations right now. So this is the one that's in response, and then this is the thing that you noticed.
Interesting. Okay.
And does that make sense?
I think so.
I'm scared.
God, what do I want to talk about?
Probably start with Norma stuff.
Winifred.
Sorry.
I know. I do the
Okay,
same
in my
thing.
defense, all right.
Oh,
That's
boy.
3.
In my defense, you made 2 characters that are involved with monsters that both have silver necklaces and are just there when people get hurt.
I didn't realize that till now. I was like, I'm gonna try to be very different, but it's also Monster of the Week. How are you not gonna have characters involved with monsters?
It's
And,
the necklace.
I think it's the specifically silver necklace.
It's silver. Silver hurts monsters.
Yeah.
It's a different type of necklace.
It's all one universe anyways.
No, it's not.
Yeah, it is.
And if you're on the Roll No Evil ARG, yes it is. Editor, make an ARG.
While this is happening, the seance is happening.
No.
No.
Years difference.
While this is happening, you hear Wyatt in the back room just screaming out in pain because painkillers haven't been invented yet.
So Cyrus opens this door, and I'm picturing the vision, Norma opens the door, and Cyrus is there holding this necklace. And so we have the
Wynn.
whole squad, and
You said
Jesus,
Norma.
I'm so sorry, Winifred, motherfucker.
We have like a little counter thing that goes off every single time, like a ding.
I'm sorry.
You're good. I love you. You're great.
I think so we see Winifred, and so I can see it's a 1-room barber shop,
Yeah.
so I can see
You can
everybody.
see-
It better not be a butcher shop.
Yeah, you can see everything.
Okay, and everybody, and is Wyatt conscious?
He's out.
Okay. I think Cyrus looks at everybody and does a scan of the room, lands on Wyatt being unconscious, looks at the necklace in his hand, and looks at Winifred, and hands it back to her, or reaches his hand out to hold it over to her.
She's gonna hesitantly, carefully, take it, you try to grab it.
And before she can grab it, so it's one of those where I feel like she holds on, she goes out and grabs it, and he still has one hand, and says, "We're gonna come back to this. You hear me?"
Oh, okay.
And then he releases it, and he looks at Wyatt in the bed, and he looks at it, and he's not really acknowledging anybody else,
Mhm.
or maybe I think he looks at Old Man Jenkins, and he gives a little he looks at him and doesn't do a nod, doesn't do a hat tip, but looks at him in acknowledgement, which is more than he does for pretty much
BFFs.
90% of the other people in the world. And he goes over to the barber and just says, "How long till he's talking?"
Harold, he's so engrossed in what he's doing, and you can see like he's getting like he is fixing it, like wrapping it up, stuff like that. He goes, I don't know. We can naturally could be quite a bit. He's in shock. If we get the smelling salts, could just wake up. And he just kind of gesture, like he's so focused on the hand, he like gestures to there, but gives like a little signal with his hand, just like let me just finish up.
Are there smelling salt? Can I see the smelling salts?
Yeah, like they're in the cabinet and you can see it. It is like in a mason jar.
I go and I grab them.
He gives like a little thing of like, just give me a minute with the hand before you do.
You think Cyrus is gonna listen?
Well, I'm saying this to M so that way I can at least get Wyatt outside the unstable. It's up to you.
Where is Eduardo relative to Cyrus?
You're nearby.
In between him and the bottle?
You know what? Because I want to just see shit get stirred. Yeah.
If you wanted that, you should have seen Jenkins shower.
Out of game? Fucking try it, Cyrus.
In game?
In game, just gonna be stanced.
Are you like standing over Wyatt like a mama bear?
I think you're standing between Cyrus and the smelling salts, right?
Yes.
Okay. God, I really wish there was an
I
intimidation
know.
check that's not just charm or something.
You can do
'cause-
manipulate.
Yeah, but that's charm.
Yeah.
Eduardo isn't smart enough to be charmed.
Yeah, I'll fuck it because it's interesting. I'll roll. Why not?
Manipulate,
Because this is
yeah.
a game. Fuck it. This is fun.
Fuck it. Duel.
No, God, no.
Another one.
Another one.
DJ Khaled.
So is this just rollies or what
No,
are we
it's
doing?
just, she's going to roll manipulate, and then you get the decision.
I rolled a 7, which is not great. So I'll say what I did. I'll say what Cyrus says. I need to know what he saw. And more importantly, I need to know what he knows.
Eduardo, you have the option if you want to let him go to smelling salts. If you do, you can mark an experience point. But if you don't, you don't get an experience point, but you don't get a negative.
Has Cyrus moved towards me at all while saying this, or you just stanced up?
No, I think I turned and I was starting to go to the smelling salts, and then I think you stepped in the way, and since you stepped in the way, I have not moved.
I think I know where your mind is. I think I know what you wanted to do.
I want to do nothing, but for a reason. So how do I turn that into a move?
I'm confused.
You just gotta roll manipulation.
All right.
You gotta roll it high. Remember, you always have luck.
Are we getting an Uno reverse manipulation?
God, if I used luck, none of this would have happened.
If I used luck, I would have harmed the bad guy.
True.
That is a +2, 9.
All right. So,
I love this.
M, you're able to do whatever you want, but Eduardo, what do you do?
Eduardo stands. Eduardo does not move, but Eduardo stands.
Believe it or not, that was a very smart move on his account. It doesn't seem like anything. He's got some cooking.
It's good. Wynn's gonna say, I heard him say some things, and I also saw some things of that thing, so maybe just let the sheriff heal, and I can answer some things the best I can. It's kind of my fault, after all, that this is happening.
Yeah, so I think hearing that, I think Cyrus just stares at Eduardo for like a beat. Just a beat. And then slowly turns to Winifred. And just kind of like, not a nod, but sort of like does that sort of like head movement of like, go on.
All right, nobody's moving now. So, Trev, move second never happens because Cyrus never did what you wanted.
Damn it!
Yeah. Do you want to reveal what you wanted to do? Because it's kind of funny.
So here's.
We'll cut this out. I just
Yeah.
want to know.
So
No, keep it in.
I wanted you to swing first, not necessarily even at me, but like go and like try to grab the salts, like just walk around me. I was about to fucking pull that wood board out from underneath Wyatt with the surgical precision and just smack it down between you and the pills.
That would have been good shit, but yeah, no.
You just launch Wyatt across
Yeah,
the room.
I want you to know that would happen. It would have been like the
In the
table thing. You would have rolled.
I would have lost another finger.
Yeah, no, I think that this feels right though. for
No,
what
this does
Cyrus
feel right.
is.
I like this.
This feels
I
right.
just
That's
wanted to see
funny
if I
shit.
could.
Yeah, so Cyrus just like looks at Winifred.
So there's like some weird like light thing with like its chest, and and then Wyatt dueled it, and then it, like, grabbed the kid by his neck, but then the kid went willingly, and then Wyatt also asked, like, did you kill my father? And the thing just kind of tipped its hat and then left. It was really weird. It's definitely something monster, but I don't think a typical cryptid. So it, like, rules out everything that I know right now.
I'm sorry, just as an outsider, just like, I think it's a monster, and my internal monologue went, yeah, no fucking shit.
Monster of the week, everybody. All right, we're gonna
But just for this week.
roll fucking credits.
On a pale horse rode death.
Listen, everyone in this town was gaslighting Winifred when she said, is it a monster? They kicked her out of the saloon. So she's like, I think it's a monster.
But it was also established
You're
that
so
she's
right.
been like taking shit with no money, so I don't think it's the monster thing.
Yeah.
By the way, does that the light in the chest and all that, does that sound familiar to Cyrus? I could roll if I need to for that. But does that, because that, I'm guessing that's stuff that he didn't see from that
No,
first.
you can roll, but probably no.
It's not something that would ring any bells.
No.
Okay, so then he says, Cyrus says, the previous sheriff, the one before Mr. Pink over here, is he, how old was he?
I don't know. Jenkins, do you know?
I think he's saying this to the room out, like, at large too. Like, he looks at Winifred, but then it sort of looks at, like, old man Jenkins and also looks at the barber as well.
How old is who?
Butch.
The old sheriff, the one right before.
Jenkins, you can roll.
Eduardo's just in the corner like, I do not know. I am only 12.
That would be a fail.
But what move did you roll?
It doesn't matter. I was gonna roll to, because you said Jenkins, you can roll, and then I thought you were gonna tell me whatever it was gonna be to add.
Investigate a mystery.
But I rolled a 5, so there's like nothing.
Mark experience.
Mark experience.
Yeah, what's your sharp?
Well, sharp gets me to 7.
Okay,
Oh.
so you don't mark experience. You make some. Vaguely, you can recall that you don't know an age, but he wasn't elderly. He was an older man. He was an adult man. You don't know whether more on the younger side or the older side. You're still thinking about how like you were just tossed into a shower. Still,
This might confuse some people or find it surprising, but Jenkins has his highest is charm and sharp,
What?
which is the complete opposite of who he is.
I think with whatever answer Jenkins goes at, Cyrus looks at the barber and it's like, you've been here, like, tell me about this previous sheriff to the barber.
the barber, as he, you're gonna have to. No, you know what? Manipulate.
And I also think that as he sort of looks to the barber, he does the thing where he kind of moves his like jacket out of the way so you can see the marshal badge.
So wait, while that's going on, I'm gonna go up to Cyrus, put a hand on him, burp to myself, and little fumes come up, and I am going to use my tipsy mechanic on him.
Oh,
I mean, I have to, okay, depending on what you do, I have to roll now, so thank you for this.
Yeah. Twice per mystery, you can cause someone to feel drunk for a few minutes by touching them. When you induce drunkenness, roll plus weird. On a 10 plus, the target becomes physically disoriented or emotionally volatile, whichever is better. On a 79, their drunkenness induces a complication.
Why would you do this?
I'm gonna roll before I describe this because I have something in mind.
So I touch Cyrus and says, "Please, let the doctor just do his thing, then we can ask later. There's more important things like lives here."
Jenkins making the sense?
He cleans up well.
Can you throw a burp in that sentence?
That is a 4.
You can use luck.
Yeah.
You haven't used any.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna use luck on this one.
All right. What was the 10 plus again?
10 plus, the target becomes physically disoriented or emotional volatile, whichever is better.
Fight,
I mean, I
fight,
think I
fight,
know which one's
fight,
gonna be
fight.
fucking
We
better.
know
Fight.
exactly which one you are going to.
Well, I just want physically disoriented because I don't want to fight. I don't want
Well-
here's the thing. An emotionally volatile person with a gun is not what I want.
He does get the say because it is his move, and he did get a 10 plus.
Yeah, no, I know, but
Yeah.
Wait, are we touching Cyrus or Wyatt?
Cyrus.
I thought you were putting this fucker out of his misery. Okay, like, Jesus.
Questions. Okay, so you said you made me drunk. Is that separate? Do I also get the drunk conditions?
Yes.
Great, because I have good tolerance, which means the drunk conditions are 1 charm going and 1 sharp forward for a read a bad situation. So great
Yeah,
in
you
that
get
sense.
those, but he's allowed because. So just for our viewers, this is a custom playbook that Stick found. So we don't have a quick reference that's there. So as well as his playbook, there's a few things that have changed. So, but one of the things in this case that I found out later while looking at this playbook, you get to choose which one he can go to. So you want to go with the emotional.
No, I said I don't want emotional because an emotional person with a gun is.
Oh yeah, you want to go
disoriented.
disoriented.
Yeah, I just want to
So-
disorient.
Makes sense.
So, all right. For Cyrus, that's going to mean like you're not like out of it by any means, but you're going to just act slightly off than you would have, whereas before you would have like drawn the gun. Here you're a little bit frazzled. One from, just the situation. There's a lot that happened too. It's almost as if the shower has opened Jenkins's pores and just steams of like alcohol are out. So it's like a secondhand buzz.
I think I have to roll act under pressure, though, for the reason I just
Let
messaged
me
you, no
see.
matter what.
For the same reason that I was the last person to touch you again.
Okay, so typically, yes, but given that this was a playbook original move, you don't.
Okay, great.
Yeah, that's the
Good.
caveat. If it was a normal move, then yes.
Okay, so I think that how that's going to happen in my brain is the fact that he chose the physical disorientation is why I'm not rolling that right now. Because otherwise I would. Okay, that makes sense to me. Sorry, I just wanted to like wrap my brain as to like what that meant.
Yeah.
Great. And Jenkins, you said something to Cyrus that was like, lives are at stake, like give him a rest, lives are at stake kind of a thing?
Yeah.
Okay. So Cyrus is going to look down at Jenkins and says, "Oh, I understand. What I want to ask your sheriff here is what he knows, because the way that boy was killed out there, well, that was the same way that his Butch was killed. And I think he knows something about it."
Well, I think that this can wait until the good doctor's done with what he's doing. Now step back.
I think that he looks down at Jenkins and goes,
Remember, the listeners at home cannot see your facial reactions.
I think she's thinking.
"I know.
Oh, I thought that was.
Just bite a lip going down. I mean, that fulfills my fanfic romance.
Cyrus X Jenkins.
Oh my god, what would the ship name be?
Oh,
Jenkins?
Jenkins.
Sykins?
I'm trying to think.
Birkins?
Jinktrum.
I don't know, man.
Birkin?
Old Beertram?
Birkins.
Old Beertram.
Gyrus?
Something like that.
Birkenstock?
Birkins?
Birkins.
Awful.
I like it.
Old Cyrus Birkins.
Okay, I think that Cyrus will look down at Jenkins and say, "There is something from beyond this world that is hunting your town. And you don't want to ask this man for answers? Yeah.
Whatever. You know how the last sheriff was killed?
I'm a marshal round these parts."
I don't know if I believe that. Show me your badge.
I know my rights.
Respect my authority.
I thought that was their first name.
I literally like look at him, and then because I literally already said that I pulled back the jacket
Yeah,
to
I
show
spit
the-
out.
So I looked down at the badge, and I looked down at Jenkins, and I'm like, "Trust me, I have this badge. Might not be that much of a lawman, but I have that."
I don't feel like it's ever going to become relevant, but Eduardo just immediately takes out one of his bottle caps and starts like trying to scratch the marshal badge symbol into it.
Mm.
And he's just kind of like doing it like with his hands like up high. He's just kind of nervous.
Wynn takes out her notebook and is like flipping through it, and she's like, "Okay, so you said that the old marshal died, like that boy. But Jenkins, you said Butch was shot."
I did? I did say that. All I remember it was aliens.
Yes, you did mention aliens. I did put like that as a little tiny footnote.
Jenkins also did mention a bright light.
The cause of death for one Sheriff Butch was gunshot wounds
to the chest that he was found lying on. So you tell me how somebody who's lying on their front, dead, has all the gunshots wounds to the front of their chest. Not the back, no. The front.
Maybe he got shot from the front and fell forward.
I was just about to say that.
Jenkins on some shit tonight. He's focused.
That shower really helped him.
He's the sheriff now.
Clear pores, clear mind. We love to see it.
Clear hearts, clear eyes.
No. Cyrus triggered one of his motivations.
Did you see that boy get shot from the front?
Wait, there's a boy?
He felt like he was shot and kind of reacted like he was shot, but I didn't hear a gun.
And the way he fell dead was exactly the same way that the old sheriff fell dead. You don't think your sheriff isn't going to know anything about that? You don't think it's odd that he shows up right when all this is happening? Man with a past like that. I want to turn back to the barber because I want to get info from somebody who's slightly more coherent and has been around the town for a while.
You are also drunk. Remember that.
Yeah, and my drunkenness is plus charm and plus sharp. So hell yeah, I remember. So I think I would like to manipulate the barber into giving me information. I want to talk to the barber. I have questions for this barber.
Okay.
Great. So I'm going to roll manipulate.
Okay.
I'm going to just slightly brush past Jenkins to walk forward next to the barber.
If you're going to interrupt the doctor, he will do everything within his power to stop you.
I'm just trying to talk to him.
The way Jenkins is thinking, the doctor is doing surgery right now. And you're trying to talk to a doctor who's already shaky while he's doing surgery. He's going to stop you.
I feel like we're at the standstill, but I can't do anything to Jenkins right now because of this playbook move, and so I don't know what to do.
A good compromise, you can not move. You can show a good gesture that you're not going to do nothing, but you can still ask questions. But you gotta show a gesture.
Has our doctor made any progress whatsoever?
Oh yeah, he is. At this point, he would be doing final touches and getting ready to just bandage it up. He was working the entire time.
Okay, so he's competent enough.
Yeah, he's doing everything you need.
Alright, Eduardo, don't give a fuck.
Yeah, he's just working in the background.
So if Cyrus takes a small step forward to turn to the barber, and Jenkins is not going to let that happen. And so I think that Cyrus doesn't move anymore, but just stares directly at Jenkins, stares super down, but says to the barber, Doc, I need to ask you some questions.
Harold is, at this point, he is tying the last stitch to where Wyatt's pinky used to be. No more pinky. He's just doing some last stitches. You can see that he's done some work there where, that's there, but, he's doing some final touches trying to, salvage the ring finger. And he just kind of, sighs and he goes, all right, but I gotta focus on this. So not gonna be the best answers.
Is it a roll manipulate somebody to get some questions that I want to ask?
You don't need to right now. If he pauses, then you can use it.
Okay. Is this the first injury from this ghost rider that you've treated?
Harold just kind of brings a hand up. He's inspecting the ring finger. The ring finger was salvaged, Wyatt, so you still have that.
9 out of 10's not bad.
He's managed to just kind of very impressively stitch everything that's there. And he goes, yes, the others don't. There's nothing left for me to treat.
Did you find the bullet in his hand?
Harold kind of pauses, he wasn't expecting it. That question. He turns back. He goes, no, there was no bullet. He's just confused, not at the question, but more so oh, I never thought about that. He looks over at you, Cyrus. He goes, but there's enough residue on there, as if the bullet was there. I don't know what kind of bullet it is. You would probably need to talk to the goodsmith. And he kind of like takes a handkerchief out from his pocket and just swipes on Wyatt's palm where there's just a little bit of residue.
The old West GSR.
Yeah.
And just kind of like puts it down like on the, he doesn't give it, like he just puts it down for now.
Is there an exit wound, or should that bullet have been there?
He brings the hand closer again, just kind of like inspect. He goes, no, but I would have seen some fragment. It hit bone, so there usually would be some there. He's like very confused by it all, but you can also see where the bullet hit. It didn't go into like his palm. It went mostly to the fingers.
And this is a question. I didn't happen to see a bullet or any tracks of a bullet or sign of a bullet while I was inspecting the ground.
No
Okay,
bullets.
cool. By the way, when I was inspecting the ground, was there blood pooled where the boy lay?
Yep.
Okay, there was blood pooled. Okay, cool.
Who was the first one taken by that thing? And how long ago?
Harold begins wrapping Wyatt's hand. During this time, Wyatt, you're not awake just yet, but you're starting to show signs that you're about to wake. Yeah, you're just kind of like, Harold, as he wraps up everything, he just goes, there's been quite a few who've left. I don't know. I usually hide. I'll be honest. I know the Undertaker makes plots for everybody who's gone.
The old sheriff. Did you know him well?
Butch, I knew him. Not too well. I tend to keep my head down. But I saw him a few times when he's come in to deal with an odd scrape or so. He like stands up, and that same like confidence of when he was treating Wyatt comes back as he remembers the injuries. He's like, bullet scrape, gangrene on a toe, come in for a shave. And he like rattles it down very clear voice, and he just kind of then goes, nice fella. Never did nothing. But I wasn't one of those in town that hung around him all that much.
Who would those be?
He thinks for a moment. He goes, I know right before he died, he was talking to the elves, the seamstress over at the haberdashery, a few doors down. They were talking quite a bit. I don't know about what. And he just kind of stops, and he like a realization goes on his face, and he goes, I overheard them once. They were talking about the general store.
Last question. How old was Butch?
Probably late 40s, early 50s. Not that old.
I think that Cyrus nods at him and then looks at Jenkins like, you good? We fucking good, bro? We fucking good, bro?
Thank you for respecting the lives of an individual.
I don't give a shit about that individual, but there is something I am looking for.
And I think with all of that info and all of that stuff, I think Cyrus is going to pick up the handkerchief with the residue.
Wait, is it Wynn's handkerchief?
I don't know.
The one that was tied around the hand?
It was Harold's. He just had it. Yours is fucked up in blood right now.
And then I think that he looks at Winifred and says,
Tell your sheriff I'm gonna be around for questions later.
And then he walks out.
Cyrus yeeted,
and Cyrus didn't punch anybody. So that should be
character development.
He's punching the air.
just
He's doing like what you do in the shower after a fight. He's like, oh.
Yeah, as soon as he walks out, he sees that tumbleweed that was going earlier, and he kicks it because he didn't kick or punch anything for a while. So he just sees this tumbleweed, and he just kind of, and it's like there's nobody on the street, and he just kind of kicks it and then like keeps walking. Nobody sees it, but he knows.
Is there a sink in this barber shop?
There is a basin filled with water.
Yeah, that's what I meant. Because it's old-timey. Yeah, Wynn's gonna take the super bloodied red handkerchief and just start like scrubbing it in the like the big pail of water.
That handkerchief, as much as you're gonna try to get it out, that thing is gonna be forever stained. It's gonna be like blotches of pink on it for as long as you'll still
I mean,
have
it's already red. It's just like some spots are deeper red.
Yeah, it's all fucked up. While you do that, Wyatt, you're gonna start to stir awake. It is a blinding pain from your hand. It's tightly swaddled, so it helps like a little bit. But it's like, Resident Evil 8, when he like wraps it up? It's like that.
I know what you mean.
Yeah, it's going to be like you have clearly no thumb, so that is just flat, but the rest is like tightly, like there's just like
Thumb or pinky?
I'm sorry, yeah, pinky. Your thumb was unscathed, so like everything else though is like covered in bandages. Like you can't make a grip right now.
Yeah, like a mitten.
Yeah, it's a mitten.
Groaning noises.
When we'll drop, I guess, the handkerchief in the basin, she'll be like, Mr. Cunningham!
Well, that hurt.
I'm so thankful that you're actually alive and you didn't bleed out and fall
Why do I taste something?
I saved your life.
With what?
Harold comes back and he goes, he didn't, he like gets a little closer. He goes, if you have some stomach issues, that bottle was pulled from beneath the towel.
I forgot that he's still in a towel.
He's still in a towel.
What?
I forgot that I guess Jenkins intimidated Cyrus while basically naked.
I mean, that is pretty intimidating.
Yeah.
I picture him like, instead of like fixing his belt up, it's just the edge of the towel, just like,
So with the pain and tasting ass and hearing that the bottle came from under the towel, Wyatt's gonna throw up.
You're just gonna throw. There's nothing else to say.
Like he'll like turn to the side.
All right, it's just all over the floor. Jenkins,
Yeah.
do you have shoes on?
No, he's naked except for a towel.
Did Jenkins ever have shoes?
Yeah, he has shoes.
Can I do it on Jenkins?
Sure. Yeah, you can do it right on
All right,
Jenkins.
thank you.
Okay, so Jenkins, you're covered in vomit now. You just got a shower.
He needs another one.
Being clean is something he's just not used to. So it's like, oh, okay. He unwraps his towel and starts drying himself off.
So you're just seeing everything, guys.
I'm gonna turn the other way.
Yeah. No one's looking at that.
And then he ties it back up again.
Meanwhile, Eduardo's just in the corner cursing in Spanish.
Just
Mierda.
Yeah, because he spent all that time.
Pinche cabrón policía, verga, güey.
Harold's gonna come up like after you finish. He's gonna give you like it's just like a mug of like water. Just like rinse your mouth out. He goes, "Don't put too much stress. You're in an awful state." And he like gestures to your hand. So you're not healed, but you do have the unstable tag removed.
Okay, so I'm just at 2 harm.
You're just at 2 harm. Yes. You can get additional healing later by normal means now because you're no longer unstable. But right now you just have the tag removed, which means you're not going to get worse.
Okay. Wyatt will sit up.
When we'll say, so while you were out, the really moody marshal guy, Cyrus, he was here. He was a little threatening. He was asking a lot of questions. And a lot of them were about Butch. And I think your dad and Butch went through like the same thing as the grocery boy that we saw. So that's just for your notes.
Good to know. Who the fuck was that?
That was also part of Cyrus's questions.
He's fast. That's the first time I ever lost a duel.
Oh.
I hate to tell you this, but you lost something else too. Look at your hand. No, your other hand.
He's in shock from missing his pinky. He doesn't know what to say. Just stares at it.
Here, you might need this. And he's gonna hand him a bottle.
I thought you were about to say he's gonna hand him his pinky.
Yeah, did someone find my pinky?
Like I thought you were about to just say like I give the fingerprint.
I think we have other implications if a naked Jenkins has his pinky.
Is there a pinky in the inventory? That's all I'll ask you.
No.
Because Harold did remove it.
Oh, he removed it.
It was like held on by like a
Yeah,
sliver.
it was like on a ligament. So you could say that you swapped the pinky.
No, I didn't.
Wyatt will not take the alcohol.
When we'll flip through her notes. So when you're hopefully feeling better, when you want to do the sheriff snooping around stuff again, we should probably go to the Undertaker because they make plots for all the people that disappear, like the general store kid and like Butch and probably like your father. So yeah, and then we also might meet Cyrus there, and he's extra moody with everything that's going on. He's also looking to Butch. I think you two should team up because you probably want the same answers.
Just for him. And were you laughing at me?
Both of what Dude said and also Jen's express, like just all of it.
Yeah, as it was like you should team together, I just put my hands together and kissies. Just kiss, kiss, kiss.
He's married.
I mean, that doesn't stop Dusty.
What happens in the West stays in the West. Have you not seen Brokeback Mountain?
No. Yeah, I got a lot of questions.
I have some answers to questions that Cyrus asked. So hopefully they're like the same questions.
Why don't you tell me everything?
The wind propeller spins, and you're right. Do we need to do the play-by-play, or can we just assume
We can assume that, you go over everything with Wyatt. Wyatt, you kind of like nod along. You're not really answering. So this would be, your response after Winifred goes through everything.
She's flipping so many pages, and then and that's all I have.
That's how the son of a bitch died.
You dad? Or Butch? Because you're looking for both of them.
Oh, I guess there's no point in holding it. One and the same.
So your dad was Butch, was the previous sheriff, and now you're sheriff.
A few weeks back, got a telegram from Dust saying the old man was killed. Wrote back and they helped me get the job here as the sheriff. Try and figure out what happened to him. Haven't talked to him 20 some odd years, but family's family.
I knew you was familiar. I mean, you act just like your dad. Every time he would take me in after I was stuck over at a late night drink, he'd always take me in. He wouldn't really put it down on my record, but he'd always give me something to eat, and you're just as kind as he was.
You left an impression before you left us. Very seriously, he's just gonna kind of stare off. That thing's mine.
Eduardo, a man of the cloth, is just crossing himself in the corner.
I think we need to go meet up with that Marshall person.
Marshall Cyrus. Can I roll if that's familiar?
Sure. Investigate a mystery. Or do you have a special move? Always remember to check your special moves.
No, my special move is more specific to the monster.
That is true.
Which I will. I have to think of my question.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna use luck because I rolled double ones.
Ooh, mark experience. Mark experience.
All right. The name rings a faint bell. You don't know specifics. However, of course, you're coming in as a sheriff. You would be knowledgeable of those who are also, of authority in the area. You know the name Cyrus. Like, it rings a bell in terms of definitely was a marshal. Not in this territory. You do know that. Well, Bittermesa is not really in a territory, but not in, like, a nearby one. This is a dirty 12, so you know that it's one of two territories, but you don't know which one. Either Moxie Point or Taplet Stone, but you don't know which one. You do know, like, the lower part of the territory, of the valley. Moxie Point is the trading one, and then Taplet Stone is, like, the crime and bandit one. But you don't really know which one. But you do know, like, he's not lying. He is a marshal.
The name clicking.
Yeah, it clicks. You don't know too much, but you know he's telling the truth that he is a marshal.
That's just more questions.
I love this fucking game. I love this fucking game so much.
Would the sheriff know anything if I were to show him Eduardo's rendition of the badge that he was nervously carving in the corner?
Maybe. Depends how good the sketch is.
We're gonna roll to use some magic.
Yup.
Because we're gonna need it.
Roll for art.
Okay, off to a good start. That's a nat 12, bitch. So apparently Eduardo has a brilliant carving skill.
So many people with like good artistic skill, photography, drawing.
Yeah.
The thumbnail carving.
What move did you use, by the way?
I don't even fucking know. I just figured magic would be the most applicable, but let's see.
Yeah, you gotta have a move. That's it. You jumped the gun.
Maybe a little bit. I roll for show badge. I don't have a move that would honestly put this into power other than the generic ones.
Help out. Yeah, we'll use help out.
Fuck it.
All right. So it's extremely accurate. There's even some shading in there. All right. So describe how it looks. You could just say that it looks accurate.
So as all of this shit was happening while you were unconscious, Eduardo, we're gonna do like a little flashback. Eduardo was just kind of in the corner, and you see him just remove one of the bottle caps, not a full bottle, out of one of his pockets, flattens it between his palms like he's rubbing like Play-Doh together, and then just has an extremely flat, nondescript metal surface. I don't know if I need to specify what material it is. And you just see him kind of like looking up and down at the marshal's badge as he's delivering his monologue to a half-clothed Jenkins, and is just slowly starting to carve in the star. I'm trying to find the visual for him.
I mean, yeah. You can just describe the badge.
It's a 6-pointed marshal badge. So it's not, whereas I think Wyatt says a 5-star pointed star. I specifically wanted mine to be different, so mine's a 6-pointed star. Because I'm that bitch. But so it's that classic, like, you know, I think I literally have I think I have an image. And it is gold.
Yeah, he just doesn't have any gold or silver on himself.
Other than the badge is the only thing. Just a classic marshal. Yeah.
It would have probably those embellishments on it just for the area.
But it's super worn, by the way. That's the other thing, is it's super, super worn. Yeah. Like, it's not something that he takes care of. It's not something...
Yeah, it's just smoothed down, but it has enough... You can still make out enough of a pattern-ish, so maybe somebody else can identify it.
Yeah, it is, yeah. So that's sort of the vibe there. But it is super worn down. And it also doesn't look like it's one that he really takes like, he doesn't actively like polish it or anything, right? So it doesn't necessarily look like it's super well taken care of, if that makes sense.
So Eduardo has successfully made a 1-to-1 recreation of this using only a bottle cap and his rough ass thumbnails. But his, just where it would say Marshall, just says big guy.
Aww.
Eduardo wanted a badge too, because all the other important people have them.
So Wyatt will see it and just be like, name's familiar. We'll have to talk. Before that, he's gonna turn to Wynn. Can you go get Dust? I need them to do something.
Yeah. And Wynn will first grab her soaking wet handkerchief, kind of wring it out, and then she'll take it with her.
Does Eduardo have a notebook, right?
Eduardo does have a notebook.
Wyatt's gonna turn to him next, and can I get a paper and something to sketch with?
Of course, senor.
Picture.
Camera!
Or camera, that's what it was.
I want you to know that when you said that, it was such a tense moment. I had been rehearsing it in the mirror. You said camera, I nearly pissed myself. It was one of the funniest things.
I like to think canonically Wyatt says camera.
That's what I've been assuming, but yeah, I almost pissed myself when you said that. Just camera.
Death is standing over him. Camera!
Anyway, go on.
But Eduardo just reaches into his jacket pocket and says, of course, senor. And hands you just the whole fucking notebook and a little pen.
Wyatt, in pain, but it's only his pinky so he can still draw, is going to start sketching the horseman, the horse, basically the kid, everything he saw, he's going to sketch. and he's gonna make notes because also he's supposed to have an audio recorder, but he doesn't. So he's gonna write, like, in the sketch of the kid walking, he'll put like a speech bubble of the kid saying, "I'll see the others," right?
Somehow from the speech bubble, you can get the tone and inflection.
Yeah. It's almost like we can hear it.
Yeah.
Like we were there.
It's like shaky to represent his voice shaking.
Keep going. You got anything else?
He's just going to be working on that right now until Dust shows up.
Dusty like comes in. They look like obviously frazzled. They have like a weapon at their holster. Not going to use it, but they just have it on them. They walk in. They go, Sheriff. Like they see your hand and they're just like, oh my God. I heard the gunshot. I didn't know what was going on. I came here as soon as I could. I mean, granted, Winifred found me talking to, somebody else and I told them I heard the gunshot, but still I heard a gunshot. Are you okay?
I've been better. They beat me.
Dusty kind of like mashes their lips together and it's just like, you can't fight that thing, sir. Like, you can't. Ain't been long since it's been here, but it's...
It killed Butch, Dust.
Their eyes widen, but then they kind of like nod. They're like, I don't want to say I knew, but I had a hunch. They all go like that, on their stomachs, same place.
I don't care if it's death itself. It killed my dad. And I'm coming after it. I need you to send something for me.
Dusty nods very seriously. Whatever you need.
Bounty hunter Murhill, Butch was working with him. Need you to tell him I have a job for him. I want you to sign it, Sheriff Tomes.
Dusty nods super seriously. They step a bit towards you, as if to make sure that you see their nod and go, whatever you need. They race over to the door, ready to go. But they just kind of stop in the doorway and they go, feels a lot safer knowing that another Sheriff Tomes is here. Maybe we'll get to see another sunrise all together once more. And they leave.